man, oh man, the world is changing.
A little bit.
It's moving fast. Have you heard of dial-up modems?
You know, we got the internet down my dirt road now.
The World Wide Web. Anyway, we're talking about Twitch.
Twitch.
It's so Twitch has been a thing for a bit now, for a minute, and it started off as a gamers platform.
Right.
And I hate to admit it, I like video games. And that's where I first discovered it. I was watching some people play League of Legends, and Han. Han is what I would play, which is Heroes of New Earth, which is like a hardcore, nerdier version of League of Legends, which is was too soft scale for me. But then if you get in this hard, you just watch people play video games and people talk while they're doing it, and that's kind of it. You know, as far as how it started.
It's sort of like being a younger sibling.
Yes.
You have to stand there and watch your older sibling play. They're like, get out of here.
I've never thought of that. That's so funny. But then, so the Twitch stars became, and then that's when Major League Gaming, some of the guys from that would get on Twitch, and they would have a great following, which is called a community. But anyway, it started in gaming. We're gonna get right into music because that's what affects us.
Yes.
And this kind of came to our attention, sort of face first. There was some articles we read, but also this great local artist that we worked with, Anel Stahl. Just again, I'll say her name, Anel Stahl. Anel Stahl. It's fun to say that 3 times. It's like Beetlejuice. Oh,
Anel Stahl.
It's a good name.
It's good.
She's a wonderful young woman. She has this great Twitch platform, and she's like, oh, I do Twitch, and she was telling me what she does, and I was like, that's cool. So I checked out. I was like, wow, this is really refreshing. Was the word. It was so nice.
It's awesome.
Now, believe it or not, people on YouTube are not always nice.
Really?
There's sometimes people will leave mean comments.
I cannot imagine.
And then other channels will be mean to each other, which is baffling to me. Because it's just we're having fun talking about guitars in a room filled with guitars in the back of a guitar shop filled with more guitars,
which usually puts me in a pretty good mood.
Below what used to be a brothel. So we're actually Casino Guitars is in an old casino.
It's true.
And where we're filming is in an old bowling alley from the 40s, but the casino was built in 1912. Then upstairs was an old brothel above it. So it's there's a lot of fun here.
It's true.
It's a cool place. We have a lot of fun. Anyway, so I was watching Elle's stuff, and I talked to her. Some of her community reached out. I was like, who are these people? What's a community? What does this mean? I didn't know any of this. And then I was invited through this to go on her Twitch stream. Is that what you call it? I think.
Sure.
I think if we're wrong about stuff, correct us. Again, we're old men in this world. So, but we think it's fascinating. And so then I went on there. She has this professional setup. It's amazing. 2 computer monitors, the ring light, cameras, buttons, all these audio interfaces. But what blew me away was how flipping good she was.
She's very good
at talking to her people and how they were talking to her, and it was so nice. And there was no meanness, and it was amazing, and it was so supportive, and it's also it's a way that artists through this pandemic and before, but really through this pandemic, have figured out a way to actually scratch out a little bit of a living because the clubs are gone, the venues are over, and this allows you as a fan to actually have a relationship with the artist you love. I mean, there's a point when she was just singing a song, and she was people would pop on that were joining. And she would just start saying that and say, oh, hey, Michael, nice to see you. Imagine me as a beautiful blonde person though, instead hey, me, Michael, nice to see you. From Sister Act, that's what I want to be.
Okay.
Which is funny, I was just talking with one of my old students last night. He bought a recording console desk from the Hollywood Hills from the guy who did all the music for Sister Act.
There you go.
The Sister Act saga. It's like Lord of the Rings and Sister Act. You have these sort of movies that are iconic. Whoopi Goldberg.
Same, they're right there.
And my Whoopi Goldberg other thing is when you go back and watch Ghost, it's really fun. It's I think Demi Moore made love to Whoopi Goldberg. If you think about it, think about that.
Never thought about it before.
I think they made love. It's that's funny. It's oh no, I'm possessed by Patrick, but you're still Whoopi.
But you're still you.
Keep them eyes closed, Demi. Keep them eyes closed.
You heard it here first.
Breaking news. And this is not scripted. This is the problem with where this goes. Back to Twitch. So it's I think it's an amazing new opportunity for artists, and the ones that sort of missed out on this boat through this whole COVID disaster. I think really missed. We sort of don't know. I think you're probably going to have a. Who wants to see Jonathan's Twitch? I think I would like to see it because it'd be completely opposite of Anel's because she's this nice, sweet person, and there's Jonathan's probably going to be.
There's me.
like semi inebriated, and just like, you know, he has a beard and
Just
things
like in
and
these
playing music.
videos.
But no, it's kind of it's a fascinating new world that we've entered, and
Yeah.
it's the living part is like how they can actually, the fans sort of. So if you're a fan, what you can do, you can buy some of these coins. I don't know the
Okay.
exact wordage. What was the wordage?
They're called subs.
Subs, I guess. And then you can actually share
Bits.
bits, and you can share these with other folks that are joining the feed. And like, so when something positive happens, you can donate those. And
So like if you donate those to, like if you use your bits and your subs to get into the artist's stream, then do they get paid from that?
yeah, they get you.
So that's how you get money as an artist.
And like that's just like a small part of it. Like, I mean, I thought that was amazing.
That is
like
cool.
to learn that. Like there's a big article in one of the big music journals that sort of also inspired us talking about this, like how to make $60,000 a year with 128 fans. Because like if you have this small group that like just it becomes almost like a family. It was weird.
Yeah.
It was like I was blown away by like this, how nice it was and how positive it was. I was like, this doesn't. I stepped into this strange place, and it was wonderful and warm and fuzzy.
I mean, it sort of sounds like, you know, like, I mean, we know the grind of YouTube, and you have to get big numbers to really amount to much as far as financial compensation.
Which we don't.
We don't.
We just like to have fun. We're just talking guitars and stuff.
One day, maybe, probably
No,
not.
who cares?
But it sounds like on Twitch, an artist could have a much smaller fan base and still make substantial money.
Now, I was talking with Derek about it earlier, and it was something. It's almost like, imagine like the artist is in the green room before you go out on stage, and like he's having a private concert or she's having a private concert with you, or you're in that room. You can just talk to them, and it's immediate. It's not YouTube where we're answering your comments later.
Like 3 weeks later or whatever, yeah.
Sometimes longer if
Right.
it's because there's a deluge of comments. It takes a minute or 3 weeks. But no, it's a very intimate, special experience that you just don't get even in a live setting.
Right. Yeah,
It's-
you don't interact like that in a live setting.
And I don't know, like, I mean, I used to have some, it's weird, as a performer, I would have some social anxiety issues when I was younger. Like, I didn't always like to go out. You know, 'cause like if I didn't, like, when I lived in Austria for a minute, I had this thing where I couldn't eat unless I ate with somebody. I used to always I didn't know anybody for 3 days, so I didn't eat for 3 days. You know, because I can remember, like, you know, like back to like, you know, like, oh, I want to go out to see this band, but like nobody I know will go with me. I don't know if I want to go. Like, you can do it from the comfort of your living room, on your computer, your phone, your
That's
TV.
kinda cool.
Like we were talking, like I watch a lot of this content on my Xbox.
Right.
Derek watches it on his computer, I think, or his phone. You watch yours on a hybrid of, you don't do it Xbox, but you
No, I do it on TV sometimes,
TV.
you know, but I also do a lot through my phone.
You know, if you're watching on TV, you can't interact in the same way unless you have a
Right.
keyboard set up.
Right.
So I'm not interacting. When I have watched Twitch before, I was just watching to watch. I mean, I was watching StarCraft. StarCraft 2
It all
battles.
comes out.
I know. It's like, and my wife was like, "What are you watching? I can't believe I let you see me naked 3 times." We have 3 children.
At least partially.
Yeah, God, I didn't think about it. I didn't even see everything. I hate my life.
It's okay.
It's not. I'm lonely. I'm so lonely.
I'll go eat with you later. It's fine.
That's where the Justin Bieber song should pop in. I know. No, so I hadn't eaten in 3 days, and I finally went to the grocery store. I broke down. I was like, so I got some milk, and I drank it, and it was like cottage cheese or something. 'Cause I didn't know how to speak German yet, and so I spit out like cottage cheesy liquid stuff on like the floor in the grocery store. It was disgusting. It was.
How to make friends and influence people.
like,
the
how-
Baxter edition.
Auf Wiedersehen. And the best part is the apartment, like the place I was living in, was the actual Sound of Music house on the outside. Inside was like a prison,
Yeah.
but it was cool. And the mosquitoes were like the size of chihuahuas.
Wow.
And yeah.
There you go.
Anyway, so back to so you have not really done this yet,
I've never even been on Twitch.
and that's why. And we didn't want you to before we talked about this, because
That's right.
most of the people we're talking to, I don't think have. Because it seems like something just for young people. But again, like Derek and I, we were all sort of spamming out talking this morning. And we're like, well, this is kids that are 25 and below are growing up on this. You know, this is you know, the Facebook of the 40-year-olds.
Yeah, we sort of missed, or I at least missed all that. Because in my brain, it was just gamers.
But it's not too late to miss it, though, because people like, because I know just from that one experience with her, like her community is like ages all over the place.
Cool.
And like, and it reminded me a lot of like just you're almost having like a therapy session watching. It's like it's real time interacting, and it was just like music to just talking. And I'm like, man, this is cool. Like you don't have to go to the stinky bar and feel awkward. And then buy the beer that you don't want to drink just to hold the beer and be, that's just me maybe.
What if you wanted to drink the beer?
You can drink it in your home by yourself and be that weird closet drinking person at home. But that's
what if you had a refrigerator in your little jam shed just full of beer? I mean, I don't know.
John's like, honey, I'm going out to practice. No, so it's like I think this is the future of
it is.
Of like live performances in some ways, and I don't think it's a bad thing.
No,
I welcome it thoroughly, and I'm excited that there's an opportunity for and especially like these young female artists. It's kind of like it's not always like the coolest experience for them to play at some of these bars and clubs and venues. Sometimes it's yeah.
Well, and I do think that maybe as some of the venues and the performances come back, I think there's a place for those things to coexist and maybe even drive one another. So maybe some of the Twitch stuff builds a new artist up enough that they maybe skip some of those first level of grungy bar. You know what I mean?
That's
maybe you jump up to like the slightly bigger venues and it's a nicer experience all the way around.
Even though we were talking this morning about how like now that the bars are open again, like some of the worst bands we've ever seen are like out playing like the bars are like
my band.
No, but we're sort of used to like a sort of level of like we have really good live music in this town.
We do.
This is a really weird art supporting town. Like you get like Frankie Marie and Dark Horse and like Whiskey Pines and stuff like.
Scott's
there's
awesome.
sort of Dark Horse. It's like that's a standard that I hold. That's like sort of our top bar in a lot of ways, and Whiskey Pines and all that stuff. Like that's what I expect when I go see a band. And that other one that comes from Fayetteville with the fiddle, that one's really good.
Yeah.
I don't know the name. What's the other blues guy that's really good too? That just once he did some Ballad Bands or something.
Joe Fry, those guys.
Joe Fry like shreds it, man.
They kill it, man.
That guy kills it.
Little trio. I love those guys.
But that's what I expect when I go see. And then you walk in sometime, you're seeing people like that have just learned the song. I'm like, bro, or lady,
baby,
gonna be the one that's
gonna be the.
You don't know Wonderwall. You don't know the words to Wonderwall by now. For goodness sake, well I know 38 songs after. I'm like, it's Wonderwall. That's it. I don't have any excuse for that. You know my feelings about Oasis, though. But it's still Wonderwall. I have 10. My 8-year-old knows the words. He's not 8. He'll be 8 on Saturday, but he knows the words to Wonderwall.
It's true.
It's because I force him to do it, or he doesn't get to have his pudding or porridge, whatever you call it. No, but it's funny. So I think maybe you're right, though. Maybe this will, because it builds them an automatic audience. So when they do go play, well, they have to make the decision too. And I was talking to some of these folks about this, like not just now, but I talked to some other. I reached out a bit, and they have to think: is it worth them playing at certain places when they'll make more money playing on Twitch?
I think it boils down to, and this has got to be an artist by artist determination, but if you're making a living on Twitch, you don't need to go out and play. It's really, is there a sense of fulfillment in that for you? Like for me,
but I would say that
enjoy
you're
being
missing
out.
that though. There's such a great artist experience with that too, and that you live and die by.
I love. I mean, that's my favorite thing in the world.
Because if you see Jonathan alone on his Twitch stream, and he's probably not wearing pants, just wearing his tighty whities and his cool shirt, freshly pressed from Walmart.
That's right.
But some kids saw me this morning you're wearing all denim. I'm like, yeah, swagging it up hard, and they also
sweet.
They're like you're wearing all, and you have funny shoes on again, like the same Saucony's or Saucony's, however you want to pronounce it. I'm wearing, I just Canadian tuxedo. That's how I roll. I'm making it cool.
That's what we do.
Never has been, but it's gonna be. No, but I'm so impressed by what I saw from, again, it's weird saying the community. I had to learn this vocabulary. But how different that was than so much of the online forums, even some of the Facebook groups. It feels very anonymous. Yeah. Even if your name's up there, it's anonymous. On the community, it's not anonymous. If you're a bad fan and you say inappropriate things,
called out.
See ya.
Yeah.
And I like that fact. It protects the artist, it protects the community, so it's a safe, fun place to live.
And you were saying sort of the community sort of self-polices that in a way, right?
They
bring it to the artist's attention. It's
the artist doesn't have to do
that.
Right,
which is fantastic.
It's really nice, and I think it's a way with the future. So if you guys want to see Jonathan pantsless, tighty whities. You'll just see up here.
Yeah, you won't.
Do Stars on.
You'll know it's there, but you won't see it. It won't be in frame.
Now, we got the casino podcast under the works right now. It's all in the brainchild. It's like
That's
guests
gonna be
being
fun.
coordinated. You know, but if you want a Twitch account, we'll try it, like just for giggles. But maybe.
Would you watch us on Twitch?
I don't know. I mean, like that's weird.
What would we do?
Play video games, play StarCraft. I hope.
I'd be like, what are these buttons? I'd be like the 80 or 80
You
year
don't
old
play with
dad.
an Xbox. I mean, you're
I'd
with
be
the
like,
mouse and the keyboards, man. That's all,
God.
Are you kidding me? It's like you have all the keyboard, like shortcuts set on that. That's how you build towers and stuff at immediate rates.
We're building towers. What is going on?
StarCraft, South Korea, man. The South Koreans dominate it. Love to the South Koreans right there. If you're a South Korean watcher of Casino Guitars, please acknowledge that I just did, because I know you guys are the StarCraft champs of the world. Anyway, Jonathan, Twitch artist, love it.
All right, I'm signing up today.
I'm
gonna make Derek set me up a Twitch rig, so I can.
Twitch rig. That's cool
it's a
sounding.
thing. I know. I just made that up. It's probably a thing. I don't know. Anyways, what do you guys think? Do you watch Twitch? What's your experience? Do you hate the idea of Twitch? We want to know. Put it in the comments. Hit like and subscribe if you haven't. Click the bell. We'll see you next time.
Watch The Mandalorian.
Yes.